and I think it has since lost some of its value.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. So this one is practice daily gratitude. And the thing is, we definitely bastardize it, but that doesn't change the underlying fact that gratitude is incredibly important for creating a life of satisfaction. By actually looking and being grateful for what you have around you and not just wanting more, but being content with what you have and how your life is at that moment. One of the interesting things about gratitude is that you cannot simultaneously be angry, frustrated, upset, and grateful at the same time. You can't do it. They're polar opposite emotions. And so by being grateful, you can't feel those other emotions. And that's powerful. Now, the other side of this is, in this tweet, what it says is gratitude is linked with 30% increase in productivity. Also, it feels good. What more do you need? We can use it as a hack for getting more productivity. But at the end of the day, it's about life satisfaction. And that's really what the money is all for anyway, right? So that we can ideally be happier and buy back our time so we can go doing things that we want to do. But realize that at the end of the day, you don't need the money to be happy or to be grateful. Right now, you could be grateful. And if you're feeling negative emotions like anxiety or sadness, you can overwrite those right now just by reflecting deeply on what you're grateful for.
Well, I was walking with a buddy, and you don't know if I was complaining or just being complacent. And he said, Austin, be careful that the life that you were fighting for, that you currently are living. And it was like, oh, wait, this thing that I longed for 2 years, flying around the country, consulting people on Airbnbs, having my own podcast was what I was searching for, and I'm living it currently, and yet I'm not showing any gratitude around the situation. And it was in that moment that I kind of paused and said, oh, I'm going to be extremely grateful every day because I created what I was seeking. Super powerful.
Yeah. And what I would say to people who maybe are not where they want to be yet, reflect on the fact that you are on the path, period. Reflect and be grateful for where you are on the path, because you could always be further behind where you are. So that's one thing, right? Gary Vee talks about the guy who's ranked last on the planet. If you were to rank everybody in terms of how much money they have or happiness or their life circumstances, there's a guy out there who's ranked 7 billionth, right? There's a guy out there ranked number 1, but there's a guy who's out there ranked 7 billionth. And you're not that guy. If you're listening to this podcast, you're not that person. And so be grateful you're not that.
And the 7th billion guy still has a chance.
He's still got a chance. He's in the game.